Our guests in this segment from Shepherd University and Wish, Bev Hughes. Bev, good morning.
Good morning. And I did give some thought to food because I watched the show enough to know that is important, but it was the middle of the night and I left it at that point.
Well, at least you thought it. We're giving you credit for thinking.
Yeah, I can think about the food you would have made. What would you have made had you brought food in?
Oh, I thought about the sweet shop in Shepherdstown might be a quick stop this morning.
Yield Sweet Shop, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Used to go there a little while ago, yep.
Yeah.
Meg, good morning.
Good morning, Rob.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, how long have you been doing the Wish thing?
Oh, this is 11 years.
11 years.
11 years.
Yeah, we had you guys in a few years back, right? What does Wish stand for?
WISH is Women Investing in Shepherd, but it's a lot more than that. As we said, this is our 11th year. We began recruiting women in 2014, and it's a program, it's a giving circle. But what makes us unique is that the Shepherd University Foundation sponsors us. We began with Monica Lingenfelter, who was the executive vice president of the foundation at that time, and then Meg, who's been on board throughout this and was there before WISH began. And then 4 volunteers. I am one, as is Carolyn Fleener, Liz Oates, and Peachy Staley. And we've fortunately been together since the beginning. We are the advisory council, but
You're the OGs.
We are, yes.
The OGs, yeah.
And so we're the volunteers that try to recruit members. We began that first year in 2014 hosting in our homes, inviting our friends, and Peachy Staley did the first one. I did the second one. 6, 7, 8 people would attend. We felt we had a good night if we picked up maybe 4 or 5 new members. At the end of 2014, we had 105 women who had decided to join us. The membership fee is $500. And so the real unique thing is that even though it's sponsored by the foundation, the Shepherd University Foundation, half of the money goes to learning programs at Shepherd University, and the other half will go to nonprofits throughout the area. So at this moment, Meg, the number is?
We have given out $1.3 million in grant funding.
That's outstanding.
In 10 years.
In the 10 years.
And you have some application deadlines coming up?
We do. Meg has put the information out to all the nonprofits and to the university programs, and we will begin that process. I am the advisor to the grant committee from the advisory committee, and right now the word is out there. Submit your letter of interest to Meg, and from there we will begin the process of weeding it down, and it's a several-month process. Some then will be asked to submit full proposals, and those will be reviewed by the grant committee, and ultimately in September we will award 4 grants of $36,250 each.
Outstanding.
That's the other kind of unique thing. Our goal at the beginning was high impact, and so we wanted to provide grants that truly did make a difference. So our grants have ranged from $25,000 to $35,000. This year will be the highest. Each of the 2 learning programs at Shepherd and 2 nonprofits will receive $36,250.
Do you go through the community foundation at all, or do you stay separate on your own for these awards?
No, it's all through the Shepherd University
through
Foundation.
Shepherd. Okay. And how do people get in touch with you, Meg, to apply for these? And what do you need to see in the letter, by the way, that helps you get selected?
So if people go to the Shepherd University Foundation website, which is shepherduniversityfoundation.org, there is a WISH section, and on that is where all the grant application information is housed. There should also be a press release coming out shortly from the University Communications Department that should be hitting all of the local media outlets. That also gives that information. People can also contact me. My information is located on the foundation website.
That's how I found you.
Yes, thank you for sending me that text the other day. I was in the bathroom. And, oh, hi, Rob.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, hey, you want to be on the radio?
What a coincidence. I was, too. Yeah.
Way too much information.
So, yes, sorry. We're family. So any of the nonprofits that are out there listening in the area, the deadline for that is March 1st.
Not far away.
Not far away. But it is a very user-friendly application. We did that because we know that our nonprofits and our professors at Shepherd probably aren't dedicating that much of their time to filling out grant applications because they're trying to accomplish the other things that they're doing. And so we, from the very beginning, wanted to make sure that the process was as easy as possible for those people so that they didn't have to be a dedicated grant writer on staff to do that process.
And this is separate from the Shepherd Foundation scholarships that they do for students, correct?
Correct, yes.
On the Shepherd side, what sort of programs have you guys funded at the school?
So our most recent recipients from 2024, we actually had 3 recipients for Shepherd this past year, as well as 3 nonprofits. And those 3, we funded a program for the accessibility services that allows them to streamline accessibility needs for students. And that program cost was just not included in the budget. And so this grant allowed them to continue that program that is very vital to that population that needs it. We also funded money to do a forensics lab for the chemistry and department, the criminal justice programs. It's a joint forensics lab initiative. And then sorry, I'm losing my headphones. The third one is money to renovate the Little House. So if you're familiar with Shepherdstown at all, and you know what the Little House is, it is a beloved monument that was actually built by a professor in the early 1900s at Shepherd as a learning tool for the education department, and is a great tourist attraction. But unfortunately, during COVID, they discovered that the lead paint that had been used on the house was peeling, and that is a no-no. Yeah. So this money will help with the abatement of that and the renovation of the building so that it can be reopened.
Well, and then every year a very short student, gets to live there, right?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Well, and according to the ghost tour, it is haunted. The little
cool.
house.
Really?
Well, that's what I was told.
Okay.
And would a ghost tour leader lead you astray?
No, never.
Sounds like a great
I don't think
story.
so.
So this started in 2013. Did you say?
We began the process of organizing in the fall of 2013. We began recruiting members in 2014.
So what triggered it? What was the observed need?
Well, Meg and Monica Lingenfelter attended a workshop where a lady from Austin, Texas, named is Rebecca Powers, did a presentation, and she told about a women's giving circle in Austin. It was more community-based. And they came back and actually brought her to Shepherd. I was fortunate enough to be the one to introduce her that night. It was, at that time, we were operating from a group called Women of Shepherd, and we were bringing some programs onto campus. And she told us this story. Several of us got together afterward, and we thought, well, it will work well, but we think it would work better if we included the community. So Monica invited some of us to come together, talk about it, and that's how it began. And our motto has been, if they can do it in Austin, Texas, we can do it in Shepherdstown. So obviously their contribution was higher, and we took that very seriously. We wanted to make a contribution amount that would really resonate with a lot of people, and we felt $500 a year would work. The other kind of neat thing about it is we start every January at 0. We have 0 members, we have 0 money. Because all the money that comes in goes back out to its intended purpose. And then we re-recruit. Thankfully, we have a great number who have obviously joined us annually for a number of years, but that's how that works.
And the grants themselves seem sort of, I don't mean this in a critical way, but sort of scattershot. There doesn't seem to be a focus or a theme to them, anything from forensics to other things. So is there a central theme for people who are applying for a grant? Should they focus toward?
So there's different criteria depending on which pot you're applying for. So for the Shepherd projects, which is what I was talking about earlier, you have to be an academic a community, a cultural, and athletics program. So falling into one of those categories. And then on the nonprofit side, it's environmental science, arts and culture, community and family, wellness are some of the categories that you need to fit into. And they're broad enough categories that I think pretty much any nonprofit in the area is going to be able to find themselves eligible to do that.
If somebody needs a $5,000 grant, is this just the wrong program?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And we, we applaud institutions like the Community Foundation that give out smaller grants and multiple grants because those are so worthwhile. And sometimes that's all an organization needs. And we wanted to go in the direction of what can we do that will actually make the difference in somebody being able to achieve something really big that is just going to push them over the edge. So we've invested in a lot of capital projects. We've invested in a lot of technology upgrades. During COVID, we invested in a lot of wellness initiatives. So, I think both sides of the spectrum have immense merit to them. We just decided to go with fewer grants that were higher in monetary amount.
More impactful.
Yes.
Did your membership go down during COVID?
It didn't.
No.
It didn't.
Nice.
We were, we weren't able to have, okay, so it maybe did a little bit only because WISH is mainly a grassroots recruitment effort. So like Bev said earlier, we throw what we call socials, and we're inviting a one-to-one woman. They're, all personally invited and know a person that is attending or hosting that event. We're not doing a lot of mass,
We don't,
appeals.
We have no mailings. We don't, other than an event like this may cause someone to be interested. I did want to clarify back to the when you talked about the amount of money. They do have 3 years to spend it, so they develop a budget and share that with us. So it's not that we're asking them to immediately show us that they're going to spend that amount of money. So they have 3 years, and then we've just updated our policies a bit. The community nonprofits can apply again in 5 years. And you will see, if you notice on our list, we have some that have received more than one grant over the years.
Yeah, this past year we just had 2 repeat winners receive grants.
What's the biggest grant you've given out so far, money-wise?
2 years ago, well, this year will be, but 2 years ago we gave out grants in the amount of $35,500.
Those were the biggest in
was
history?
The highest, yes.
What are some of the community organizations that you have given grants to, and what were the grants used for?
Well, the first Boys and Girls Club grant was used with the mentor program with Shepherd, which we found that at that time we were really promoting some of these to work together, particularly the Shepherd, maybe a little more out into the community, but we've moved beyond that. The second grant for Boys and Girls Club were for some safety issues that needed to be addressed. This last one, the literacy volunteers of the Eastern Panhandle, that was one of my favorites. Their building burned in Ranson, and they served Berkeley, Morgan, and Jefferson County and lost pretty much everything. The volunteers on their own continued to work to provide the services with their own materials, but they had basically had to start again. And so that grant I felt was so impactful.
Was that the Bob Fleener group that goes into schools and reads to kids?
No, these are volunteers that actually teach people to read. I think Bob and his group, they're
part
reading,
of that, right?
But
this is mainly adult learning, so like ESL and people who are maybe working towards getting their GED.
Right.
And so
I know we've had
grant-
them on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe I confused Bob Fleener's association with them, but I never had one.
Bob's involved in so many things, so possible.
I don't think it's exactly the same
Right.
organization. CASA was a awarded a grant again, and this time we were, and that's the group that really follows the children
Yeah, they're
through the
outstanding.
judicial system. So they were actually going to be able to get some help to. So even if we're paying a salary, it's helpful. Can't be for the long term, but at least during that 3 years that can get that started. And the other thing I think that we've done, I look back to the Tabler Farm, if you're familiar with that at Shepherd University. Our grant to them was the very first one to help with the infrastructure, which certainly led, we like to think that brought them to so many other steps because they've received so many grants since that time. It's expanded. So.
How many members do you typically have in a year who donate at least $500?
This year we're working from a group of 290 women.
It's amazing.
The vast majority are from Berkeley and Jefferson County, although our footprint is Berkeley, Jefferson, Morgan County, Frederick, Clark, and Loudoun, Virginia, Frederick, and Washington County, Maryland. We've not had major success recruiting members from the out-of-state counties, but Berkeley, Jefferson, we've certainly done well, and that's where last year we had 300 members, this year 290. And I keep reminding, those of us that started 10 years ago have kind of gotten older, so sadly we've lost some members, but we're having some major success with getting younger women interested.
$500 is the minimum. Do some give more?
No, it is a $500 membership fee.
Period, end of story.
That's it. And it can be, we always say, we'll take your check. Meg has a variety of ways to pay. And then the other thing we tell women is you are not obligated, we'll take your check and you're not obligated to really do anything else. But we do have a grant committee that works very, very hard from now until July. And then we also have a membership committee. And then we have 2 celebrations that the foundation sponsors.
We have a membership reception where we celebrate our members, and we get to hear back from our most recent grant recipients. They give us an update on what they've been doing with the money. That is in late April.
Is that in the form of like a dinner of some sort?
It's in the form of a short program and then a cocktail reception, which,
Do you
ladies love that.
Yes, they do. Do you effectively charge a fee to do that or anything, to raise more money or not?
It's completely, it's friend raising only.
Mm-hmm.
It's in celebration. So, no, the foundation and private donors have graciously helped sponsor some of those events. And then we have a similar event in September where we actually award our grant awards for that year. And then during actually a few years ago, for our membership reception, we started to give out what is called the Courage to Inspire, Strength to Empower Award, where we recognize a student at Shepherd University who has excelled in philanthropy, in the area of philanthropy, and they can be nominated by their peers, by community members, by faculty, staff, and there's an ad hoc committee that then votes on that, and the president of Shepherd, Dr. Hendricks, then gives that award out in the spring. This year is very exciting because we have decided to partner with the Shepherd University Rotaract Club, and they are going to be providing a monetary award along with that award that we're giving.
We are just about out of time. 30 seconds. How do you give money or join and become part of the Wish?
Well, please check the website. It's easy to find. View Shepherd University Foundation Wish is pretty clearly accessible, and we are always looking for women to join us. And we also provide an opportunity for memorials, so that's another possibility that can be explored.
Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
We
Great
appreciate
stuff
it.
that you're doing there.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I will send you out with the Jetsons theme song.
Nice.
It is that day.